what I've done is taken the RFP for the City of Manchester and split it into an RFP that actually has an RFP for 2 proposals. The first proposal is for the annual audit, and the second proposal will be for a special operations audit. The special operations audit would be an audit to do a comprehensive review of the town's internal financial controls, its policies, its procedures, its systems and practices. Although it's not stated explicitly at this point in the proposal, there's no doubt that we would probably start them in community services. Within the section under the operations audit is a requirement that any firm that we hire does have the capability to perform forensic accounting procedures. I want to remind everyone that when this subcommittee was formed, it was formed for the sole purpose of putting out an RFP for the annual audit. None of the members, not any of the 7, made any suggestion at our last Board of Finance meeting that we hire a forensic accountant. Now, I'm not saying that that's not the right thing to do. And I'll go so far as to say that when and if we do hire a auditor, I personally, and I would imagine Mr. Frieden and Halligan, would be willing to suggest to the board, recommend even, that we sit down with our new accountant, discuss with him the allegations as we know them, and ask him or her their opinion on how we might investigate how it happened, quantify to the extent reasonably possible the losses, and take other steps that he or she may recommend. But, again, I'd emphasize that the Board of Finance did not authorize us to go out and hire a forensic accounting firm. I think, quite frankly, I've tried to use the authority given to us by ensuring within the draft that we hire someone who's capable of taking on the testing that the Board of Finance deems reasonable and necessary. So, that's a little bit of the overview. There are some points I'd like to discuss with the members tonight, but maybe at this point, it's best if we just open up a little bit and see what Mr. Halligan and Mr. Frieda have, if any, comments on the draft.
Yeah, I did want to take actually a step back and look at the full structure of what we should be doing here. I like certainly your call for, I believe it's called a full operations audit. Yeah, that's excellent, because that is going to look at more of the policies and procedures in detail, and give us more than what the annual required audit would achieve. So that's excellent. So that's more or less, that's 2 stages being done in combined fashion for to serve not only our annual purposes, but to give us some insight into what might be wrong with the system. I agree with all of that. However, no matter what the initial intention was of setting up this subcommittee, there is no doubt that this committee's need and purpose has expanded since a lot of the allegations and information has come to us. I mean, at the time when we formed this committee, very few of the people on the board, even myself included, had not read the details of the investigation. And therefore, I think that you know, we as a subcommittee, no matter what the wording was of how this committee was initially formed, should recommend to the Board of Finance that those 2 combined audit procedures take place, and a specific forensic audit be immediately engaged for the purpose of finding out the extent and the damages that have occurred to this town. So I'm saying that if you're proposing 2 types of audit, well, from the beginning, I've always said that a forensic audit is necessary once I was made aware of the seriousness of what's occurred. And I think that the will of the people and even the town officials is on our side. Certainly when Mr. Kopetz says that I support the concept of a forensic audit and any other measures that seek to regain complete confidence of the North Haven community. And even on the 3rd select, Ms. McCarty, she said that she understands the need to hire an independent forensic auditor to thoroughly investigate the full scope of the abuses. It would examine the town's past and present financial practices, systems, and procedures, and it would uncover how long mismanagement has been going on and recommend ways to fix the problems. So this should not be put off, and it shouldn't have to go. We don't need the advice of an auditor, of a general auditor, to tell us that a forensic audit is what we need right now. And that should be our third recommendation to the Board of Finance.
My point is, we don't have the authority to hire anybody. Okay? I'm not disagreeing per se with some of the comments you just made. My point is that I think as individual members, we can recommend to the Board of Finance that they take this action. For starters, you have to have an auditing firm to do that. And in order to do that, I presume, we have to go through the same type of qualification process that we're engaged in right now. And so I think, quite honestly, that even if we went to that track, and I'm not sure we can, by the way, we'd have to go through a process similar, but not perhaps the same as we're doing now, to qualify a firm and then engage them.
Yes.
Sir, can you talk louder, please?
I can, yes.
Okay. Right.
So, I guess my point, Mike, is that the time it's going to take to do that is probably the same amount of time it's going to take to do what we're doing right now. And again, while not necessarily disagreeing with the comments you made, we don't have the authority to hire a forensic auditor.
We have the authority to recommend to the Board of Finance to hire a forensic auditor.
Why do you say that?
Because it comes under the scope of auditing and of trying to regain, trying to gain knowledge and restore trust. That's why we were, in the past, a subcommittee was never formed. We're here because of the special circumstances that our case, that our situation shows that we have to go and develop and propose these audits and these ideas to serve the community at its best.